Hey guys, if you're watching this video, you probably already heard or you've seen that there's wild chameleons, the ones which like change color and everything in South Florida. And I'm gonna show you how to find them. The people who know where to find them usually have their secret spots and they don't want to give them out. I'm also not going to share exactly where I find mine, but I'll give you the best possible hint. So what people do, especially if they're nature enthusiasts, they use an app called iNaturalist. And you can basically log all the different animals which you've seen. At some point in the past, I logged a chameleon, which is right here. So what you have to do is you go to Explore and you will press the icon up here and you'll type in chameleon or cameleo because that's the Latin name of chameleons. So we're looking for veiled chameleons, actually any of them. So I'll just go for typical chameleons. Now it's gonna load the map, but where I am right now, there's none. You zoom out and then it's gonna load the map. It's pretty slow. But now you see all of these blue circles, and this is where people have recorded sightings of chameleons. So if I click on one of those circles, it's gonna load the picture, it's gonna say who recorded it and where exactly they found them. So here someone found a small female in above sunrise, but still around Miami. Obviously, Miami's not the only spot. It just needs to load. It's gonna show up all the way across here in South Florida. The biggest populations, from what I know, are here around Fort Myers and Naples. But honestly, any of these areas will have them in specific like smaller places, but they are spreading. So you can look on this map what's closest to you, and the more reportings there are, the more sightings there are, and the further away they are from like a larger city, the better your chances to actually find one. My place is somewhere around here. I'm not gonna share my personal street because there's just so many and I don't want people to go there and snatch them all away. I want them to live there in the wild. But you go to any of the places which have confirmed sightings and then you look in the trees, and I'm going to one right now and I'm gonna share this evening where to actually find them when you're at the place. We're now here in my own private street which no one else goes to, and there's a bunch of cows back there. We went to this neighborhood to pick up some plants at some point, and the lady in the backyard of that property said that she finds chameleons sometimes, and at that time I didn't know that they had any in Florida or in this part of Florida. And then I looked at the map which I just showed you guys, and it was actually over here. And then we just tried out different roads in this area, which is in La Belle, by the way, and found one very quickly. And now every time we go on this street. That's not what I'm looking for, but there's a snake sleeping in the branch, which is here where my shadow is. There's one right here, and it's super easy to find. You can probably see the lighter yellow spot in the middle of the light. That's all that I'm looking for. Any coloration and shape which doesn't fit in. Because at night they turn like a very light green. So you can see the chameleon sleeping right here. It's not gonna move. This is a small male, and actually he's too far up for me to grab. But that's what they look like. They just sit there, motionless, and they look like slightly different than the rest of the leaves around them. And this one is in a super open area. Fourth one I've seen, and I've walked a pretty good distance, but they're all just way too far up. And I didn't bring this mango picking stick, which I usually have. So I'll have to settle for everything that's lower. Walking further, there's another one up here on this stick, but again, so far up. Try to get this one, but the problem with all of this vegetation is how thorny and spiky it is. So it's kind of impossible to get in there. When you tickle them a little bit, they will start walking. So I'm trying to get it to grab onto my stick, and here we go. Here. This is a beautiful, almost fully grown female. Female was the 6th one right where the car is, and up here is a male, which would be the 7th one. I'm pretty sure I can do the same thing with a stick and grab this one from up there. And here is the male, which is very different. Has a big helmet. This one is super yellow, but a very beautiful one. Here the bright yellow spot again is another small one. That's number 9. And we haven't even walked for 20 minutes. So sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. At the beginning I didn't see any, and now there was multiple super close together. And here's number 10. Right here. You can see the eyes are closed. Now he opened the eyes, I woke him up. Now I can gently just pull him out from here by loosening his toes. I don't want to just pull him off. What I can do is break the vine he's sitting on. And then just take him out. Here. Also a male again. And number 11. This is a small female. They're so cold right now because it's like in the low 60s. So they barely move, they don't really hiss, they don't bite. See if we can find another one. Because these chameleons came from a pet population, some of them carry specific morphs on them. And I've seen very blue ones, I've seen very yellow ones like the male from 2 chameleons ago. And there's some sort of grayish or a dark black color too. Here in the dry branches is another big male. Not too big, but fully grown. This is a very standard green. He's not like the others, which were a little bit more on the yellow side. Joining his buddies on the visor here. I'm not sure what the reason is that most of the ones here, about 90% or 85% that I find are males. This one has a nice blue hint. See how this one looks different? So what I think is, because reptiles, their gender is determined by the temperature they're incubated in, is much lower. And that's why most of them hatch male. This one is beautiful. There's one in the tip right here, which would be number 13. And I've walked for maybe 25-30 minutes. Fully grown male. Wow. And he has beautiful colors too. There's one last one up here in the branch, number 15 I think, but I can't really reach it because it's again so far in the vegetation. So you see how easy it is to find them if you know where to look for. If you're like in the city of Miami or Naples or wherever, you're likely to find iguanas over chameleons in the trees. But if you know your spots, you know what you're looking for, then you can just go out and find them just with a flashlight and no other equipment needed whatsoever. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chameleon hunting tutorial. If you want to see more videos like this, which I will certainly do in the future, then please give a thumbs up, leave a comment, because there's a lot more adventure and travel content to come soon. Thanks for watching.